What's up, YouTube? Jeff back again, and today I'm super excited. It's my top 5 Android phones of 2021. Before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out and talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Winner Winner Live Arcade Real Claw Machines. If you guys are interested in having some retro fun with a digital twist on your phone, your smartphone, your Android phone, you can download this app and play real claw machines in real arcades and win actual prizes, which they will then ship to you. I've been playing the app for quite a few days, had quite a bit of fun with it. I even won a prize myself. I'll show you guys really quick. This is the Winner Winner app right here. They got a little bit of background music inside the app itself. I'll turn it down a little bit so you guys can hear me better. From the home screen, you've got various different prizes that you can play for, and you see the associated amount that it costs in tokens. Now, you can get some free tokens to start out, and then as you go, the tokens can be accumulated in other ways, including purchasing some if you want to. But again, you do start out with some free ones. Now, each time you choose one, then it takes you directly to the claw machine. Like I played for this one earlier. Show you guys how it works really quick with some actual gameplay. You go ahead and get in there, 160 tokens, press the play button. You can see this is in an actual location, physical location. And if you just scroll through, now you can control the claw, like so. Over here, try to grab. Now we missed one. So then it goes back and then obviously resets and you can try again. This one has the balls, which represent the prize, in this case being the New Year's Eve celebration kit 2022. But there are some that are also free that you can play. In the beginning, you can play any of the plush ones for free. They then cost some tokens. I already won a Snorlax plush though. So let's see if I can show you guys really quick where I did in fact win. Prize vault, right here. 5-inch Snorlax plush. You can either ship it now or you can swap it for tickets and then actually cash those tickets in for larger prizes. So if you go up to the tickets tab, up here, they've got bigger prizes you can save up for over time. Instead of getting, the plush that you won, you can get it 400 tickets and then cash it in later as you accumulate tickets. So it's a lot of fun. It's an interesting game. It's something that's a little bit different to pass some time while you're using your phone. It's a different gaming experience. I've really enjoyed it quite a bit. If you guys are interested in downloading it, I'm going to drop the link in the description and also in the pinned comment. And I really thank Winner Winner for sponsoring this video. All right, so let's get back to talking about my top 5 Android phones of 2021. Number 5, I'm going to go in reverse order, obviously. These are all phones I use. So a lot of them have cases on them. So maybe a couple of them don't, but most of them do. These are phones I use every day. So at the outset, I will say there are some phones that didn't make this list just because they're phones that aren't really sold here in the US primarily, and I couldn't really use them fully, so I didn't really want to put them on the list. One of those is the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, which I actually just ordered. It just hasn't arrived yet because I really want to play with that phone, but that's not on the list for that reason. Number 5 on my list is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. Now, I'm going to give you guys some reasons kind of for why each phone is on the list. The reason this didn't make it higher on the list is very simple. The battery life on this phone is quite bad. I can't use this phone for a full day. But everything else about this phone is great. The experience is overall very enjoyable. And the camera on this phone is actually not as bad as some people make it out to be. I think the camera is actually passable. The battery life is what really stops me from being able to use it, on an everyday basis. So I love the Galaxy Z Flip 3. I think Samsung made a lot of big improvements. The durability, the overall fit and finish of the device. Obviously they made it so that people can carry this as an everyday driver if they want. And a lot of, normal quote unquote people who aren't really into smartphone tech are picking up this phone. And so while I do use it, I typically will only use it maybe if I'm going out for the night. It'll be a phone that I might use for an evening, but I can't get through a full work day. Everything else about it, very fun phone though. Up next on my list, the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now this is a phone that I love the software experience. There's going to be some things changing about that experience very soon, because as you guys know, OnePlus is merging the Oxygen OS with Color OS, and that's already started rolling out for Android 12. I haven't updated yet because I really love the Oxygen OS experience, and I've heard some bad things about the update. But I love the software. The one thing I'll say about this phone is I don't find the camera to be as good as some people have said. I think it's one of the lower tier cameras on a flagship device, which is why it didn't make it higher on my list. But in terms of software, very good. Battery life is good. It's not quite as good as some of the phones that made it further on the list. So that's why it's in number 4. But I think, with OnePlus, I'm a little scared that they're going to ruin what, I like best about their phones, which is the software when they're merging Oxygen and ColorOS. We'll find out once I take the update. I'll definitely make a video on that. But hopefully it doesn't go too poorly. So number 4, OnePlus 9 Pro. I used this one for a couple of months earlier this year. Number 3 on my list, this might surprise some people. Number 3 is the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Now, I know a lot of people are probably expecting this to be higher on my list, and let me talk a little bit about why it's not number 1 or 2. This is a great phone, and I love the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Fantastic device, there's no doubt about that. But as I mentioned in one of my previous videos when I was trying to decide between using this and a traditional slab phone, the Galaxy Z Fold 3 is just a tough phone to use when you're moving around every day and you're working and you're mobile. That's because, I don't love using this thing closed with one hand because the cover display is very narrow. So I'll give you an example. Last year when I was sitting at home most of the time during the pandemic, the Galaxy Z Fold 2 at the time was my favorite phone because I always was using it in this orientation. But when I'm getting my coffee in the morning and I'm walking across campus to teach my next class, I got my coffee in one hand, I can't really unfold the phone to use it. I'm going to be using it in this way. And if I'm trying to triage emails or search for something in my Google Drive folder that I need for teaching, the cover display is really not the ideal way to do that. It's just too narrow. I find myself making mistakes typing. Now, of course, you get used to it over time a little bit better, but I'm still much more efficient and accurate typing on a traditional slab phone that has a wider display. Everything else about this phone is fantastic. It is great for when you're sitting down, when you're actually docking it somewhere. You can use it for extra productivity on the go. The battery life on this phone has been fantastic for me. And I actually think the camera is really good. So one of the things I was worried about when I got this phone was that I was going to take a huge step back from the camera on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And I really didn't see that. I actually wrote a very in-depth comparison of these two phones for XDA, and I'll try to put my link down below for that written article. And I found the cameras to be very comparable. The S21 Ultra, a little bit better in certain situations, obviously where you're doing some zooming and things like that. But otherwise, they're very comparable, especially in the shots that you would typically take on an everyday basis. So I love the Galaxy Z Fold 3. I think if Samsung gives us a little wider cover display, perhaps, I could maybe use this as my number 1 phone, and it might make it higher on my list in the future. Okay, so you guys probably know by now what number 1 and number 2 are going to be. Number 2, the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now, I spent a lot of time, let me actually take it off, show the actual phone off here for the grand finale of the final 2. I have my UAG case on there. I really struggled between number 1 and number 2 here, making a decision on where these two phones should go. The S21 Ultra was definitely my phone for the largest portion of 2021, which kind of makes it an emotional attachment. I used this phone from the time I got it in late January all the way up until the OnePlus 9 Pro came out, and then I went back to it after I used the OnePlus 9 Pro for a month because I just preferred this phone. Almost everything about this phone is perfect for me. Battery life is really good. I got around 7 hours screen on time on an average day with mixed 5G and also Wi-Fi usage. Camera on it is unbelievably nice. The build quality just feels nice. The silver model doesn't really get fingerprints too much either on the back if you want to use it without a case. There's really nothing. I mean, Samsung's One UI has matured over time, and it's really good now. The One UI 4.0 update made it even better. You get the dynamic color theming matching, that just like you get on the Pixel. There are very few things that stop this phone from being number 1. So when I really thought about it, the things that matter the most to me, outside of all the traditional categories, because this one kind of ticks all the boxes for me, are which camera is the best, and also what other convenience features are added to the software experience that really push it over the top. And Samsung has some nice ones like Good Lock, some other customization things. But the reason it ended up being number 2 is because the phone that's in first place has a couple extra software tweaks, and the camera is just ever so slightly better in low light situations. But the Galaxy S21 Ultra, I'd almost like to call it a tie for first place because this phone is really good. I love this phone. I can't wait to see what they do with the S22 Ultra. I'm actually a little nervous that they're going to mess up the S series because they're trying to combine it with the Note, at least on the Ultra. I'd also really like to see Samsung have an Ultra phone with all the Ultra specs in a smaller size. I think a lot of people would like to see that. So that'd be awesome. I don't think they're going to do it for the S22 because we haven't really seen any leaks of that, but it'd be really nice to see. Okay, that's number 2. And number 1 on my list, everyone has now guessed, I'm sure, is the Pixel 6 Pro. And actually, let's take this one out. You guys saw last time my beautiful all wood walnut kerf case. A lot of people asked about this case. It is kind of delicate. I'm actually going to do it behind the camera. To take it off of the phone, you got to be kind of careful with it because you don't want to mess up the case. It is wood, so you don't want to like chip it or anything like that. So here's the Pixel 6 Pro, my sort of sunny color. Been using this for the last, 6 or 7 weeks now. Got it a little bit before launch. This phone is just unbelievably nice in every way. Now, there were some Android 12 bugs at the beginning, but those are kind of prevalent in other things, like the S21 Ultra Beta also had some bugs. Google had to work those out, and they're slowly working out those bugs. But I haven't had anything that makes me say this isn't the best phone out there. Battery life is on par with the S21 Ultra. The camera is better, in my opinion, in low light situations because of Google's extra software processing magic they do with Tensor. You've got cool features like Magic Eraser, the True Tone that takes, account of different skin tones, which is great because me and my wife, we have different skin tones, vastly different. So taking pictures of us is a lot nicer with this phone. Software experience, obviously, the Pixel software experience is fantastic. We're getting a feature drop in December that are going to add more great features. I always use call screen to get rid of spam calls. I've even used the Google's call waiting where it will kind of wait for you and then tell you when it's your turn when you're calling like a automated phone number, like a company. All these kind of software features that are baked on top of the Pixel experience and the camera and everything else, in addition to, the great theming that you get, as we know, in Android 12, is just a home run experience that I don't think I could keep this out of the number 1 spot. Now, obviously, I want to mention this. The Pixel 6, I have the regular Pixel 6 as well. The Pixel 6 obviously also goes along with that. I'm not excluding it, but they're very similar. So I didn't want to make one entry for the Pixel 6 and one for the Pixel 6 Pro because aside from a few camera things and the different refresh rate, they're almost the same. So this is Pixel 6 / Pixel 6 Pro, but this is the one I'm using as my daily driver. All right, so those are my top 5 Android phones of 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Also check out my sponsor for the video, Winner below if you guys want to check out some retro claw machines and win some real prizes. It's a lot of fun. You can find me at Twitter below in the link in the description. There's also a couple of holiday sales going on, Crutchfield, Best Buy, and Samsung. If you guys want to shop with my link, it really supports the channel, and I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.